today is May the 14th, and it is 4 days before my next chapter of turning 45. And so I wanted to get on here and actually talk about something that was major for me that I've done probably not all of the 45 years, or 44 years, should I say, but I can say most of my, from childhood up until now. I'm learning that this quarantine has definitely brought out some things in me that I've talked about last time, but to basically put it all in one nutshell, to talk about and to just bring to light and exposure before I walk into my next chapter. And so one of the things that God has really enlightened upon me was my expectations. Oh my God. When I say that I never realized the expectations that I put on myself, that I put on others, more than the expectation that I had or should have put on God and living according to His word, because I realize now through all of the experiences that I went through that literally God is just bringing me to the point to tell me that He just wants me to expect what He wants from me, which is just basically what He wants from us all, is to be a disciple, be an ambassador for Him, and to get His word across and to live by His word to bring others to Him. And so just going through all of the heartache that I've been through, me having high expectations and some low expectations have been a major danger for me, because it has caused me a tremendous amount of pain that I had no idea that that's where it was originating from. So you know how people can put expectations on you, expecting you sometimes to say yes when you really want to say no, but because, like myself, being a people pleaser, I said yes a lot of times, and I really didn't want to, but I wanted to be liked, I wanted to be loved, I wanted the approval, I wanted the validation, I wanted to be invited, I wanted to be a part of whatever it was to make me feel significant, when in actuality at this point that was so unimportant. But at the moment when I was going through it, it was important to me. I'm so happy to be aware of that at this moment, but I've learned that when I'm not able to live up or meet the expectations of others, I've easily been rejected. I've been left out, set apart, condemned, mistreated. The feeling of being unloved, unworthy, insignificant, all those feelings attached itself to me because of me not meeting the needs or expectations of others. So because of that, I felt like, and not even knowing, that I did the same thing. Like when people didn't meet my expectations, only because if I did something for them and I really didn't even realize it in my mind, so subconsciously, you know how when you do something for somebody else and you be like, okay, well, when I need them, they gonna do it for me because I did it for them. It don't work that way. And I found out that the hard way, with my little feelings getting all trampled over and hurt, all in my feelings. Oh my God. It was sickening that I think about it right now. But that was just how I was feeling at the moment. If I could be real and be transparent, like that is exactly what I was going through. So now I know that I expect the same things that people expected of me, I expected it of them. And then when they didn't do it, or if things didn't go the way that I thought it should go, then my butt would quit. I would give up, and that was my way of getting the heat off of myself, or getting the feelings that I was feeling off, because I was bitter, I was hurt, because I felt like if I'm there for you and you can't be there for me, and not that I did it expecting anything in return, but subconsciously I probably was, because deep down on the inside, sometimes you do things, how they tell you don't burn a bridge because you never know when you're going to have to cross it. So you sometimes subconsciously you do things because you never know when you're going to need someone else to do it, and it end up being that same person that you do stuff for. You be thinking that they going to return the favor, and when they don't, your feelings is hurt, or you feeling some certain type of way. I've been there. I know it. I can write a book about it, which is coming. Yes, it is coming. Yes. But anyway, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. Like, he is just showing me all up and through here. Like, up in here, up in here. He is showing me. And I'm embracing it. It ain't all cookies and cream, I tell you that. But it's me. And I want to encourage you to do the same thing. Allow God to quarantine your spirit. Take this time. We've been busy doing so many other things, and then look, this COVID-19 came through to sit us all down and to take us away from the things that has caused us to be so busy that we're not allowing God to do what he needed to do in us. So anyway, back to what I was saying. I realized that what I was expecting people to do for me, I felt, or I justified it with, I did it for them. And so in actuality, I would quit. I was a big quitter. I don't care what it was. It was this feeling that I had on the inside, and it was overwhelming to the point to where it was just so strong that when things wasn't going the way I wanted it to go, or if things wasn't said the way I wanted it to be said, or the outcome to be what I thought it should be, then I would quit, or I would just give up, or I felt like, oh my God, I can't believe they doing this to me, or I can't believe that, and I had a conversation with my niece, and I was saying, you know what, we place blame on people, but we give them permission to treat us and do the things that they do. So nobody can make you feel no kind of way unless you allow them to make you feel that way. So that's a lesson learned for me. Because you have the power, we have the power to, God says in 2 Timothy 1:7 that God didn't give us a spirit of fear, but of power and love and a sound mind. So he gave us power, he's given us love, and he's given us sound mind to make good decisions and have a discerning spirit to know right from wrong, and when to say yes and when to say no, to be obedient to the will of God. So anyway, I refuse to enter into the next chapter of my life the same that I've been these last 40 something years. And I'm just going to a new place, or God is moving me into a new place in my life, and I'm happy about it, because there are so many things that I allowed to stop me from doing the will of God because of being in my feelings, because of the expectations that I had on others and the expectations that they probably had on me. But most of all, what mattered the most was the ones that I had on myself, and others allowing them to determine or to define me by expectations. And so now I know that all the things that I've done wrong, all the things that I've said, like I said last time, it doesn't define me, because God has, because I've repented, God has forgiven me. And so because when God forgives you for the things of your past, he forgets them, but we bring them back up, and we allow those things to fester and to cause us to do things that are just not in the will of God for us. And so then we end up having to start all over again to get it right. And God will allow us to keep bumping our head up against the wall until we get it, until we get tired of being sick and tired. And that's just like I was telling somebody, I don't know, but it's almost just like when you get tired of doing something, you ain't gonna do it no more. I don't care what it is. And so I'll be thinking, just for example, I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna lose weight, I'm gonna eat right, and I'll be really trying hard. But do I want it bad enough? Because if I wanted it bad enough, guess what? I will be consistent. And when I fall and mess up, I don't quit. And so that's another thing that I know, that when things ain't going, things ain't changing, that scale ain't moving like I wanted to, then I quit. I give up. And that's not gonna be me anymore. Like, I refuse to give up. I refuse to quit. It's like time to put in the work and fight for what is right, and fight for my destiny, to fight for my this journey that God is about to take me on. Like, I don't have no time to be sitting up here crying and worrying about who like me, who don't like me, who's my friend, who's gonna include me, whose group I'm gonna be a part of. Like, that ain't even important anymore, because guess what? The main person that I want to be a part of and want to be the head over my life is with God, and everything that God has for me is for me, and he's gonna provide the way for me to get where I need to go and be around the people that I need to be around, and the people that I need to be a blessing to, they will come, and the people that likewise, the people that I need to be a blessing to, he's gonna bring me into contact with them. And so it's just gonna work out for my good. Is it gonna be easy? Probably not, but it's worth it to me. It's worth it for me to figure it out and get to the place where God can really heal me, because I was in a broken place, and I still have some broken pieces that he is putting back together for me, that he's mending. But that's just all a part of life. Nobody is perfect. And that was another thing, just expecting perfection from people. And nobody ain't perfect. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect but God. And so just coming into the realization of having a forgiving heart and being compassionate to people. Like today, I posted earlier on my little tea thing that compassion is a beautiful thing. And so it truly is. And I'm so grateful that God has compassion for us, and that he wants us to have compassion for others and show love in a compassionate way. And so I just wanted to get on here and just share one of the highlights of my of going forward to a new chapter in my life, of something for the Throwback Thursday, which is what I'm leaving behind in a couple of days, God's will, that I will see it, that I'm leaving behind having expectations for people, and just be able to, when people show you who they are, believe them, and not to make it like a bad thing, but to just have compassion for people and to love them where they're at. Because guess what? That's what God do to us. He comes for us, but he's coming at us not with no condemning way. He convicts us, but he's coming to us because he wants us to live for him. He wants us to turn our lives around for him. So why wouldn't we do that for others? Why wouldn't we have compassion for others that may not know, and just be a light for them? Show them through your walk that God is loving, and God is able to do more than they could ever think, and that he is our source. He is our beginning, he's our end. And that is like the most important thing, putting God first above all else. And so I'm just grateful that he is showing me yet again something, some broken pieces that I needed to get mended. And I know I probably still have a ways to go, but until I get there, which is till I get to heaven, there are going to be things that I'm going to have to work on. And we all have to face things in our life and just embrace them, because it's us, and change the things that we need to change, and be sincere and be authentic. Like, for real. Like, I know a lot of times we be putting stuff on Facebook and it ain't even 100. It ain't even all that we make it seem to be, but it's so easy to get distracted because of the expectations that it look like that things are hunky-dory, peaches and cream. And not to say that there's not any happiness, but we have to find happiness in ourselves and not in people, places, things, money, cars, houses. Like, those things don't define us. Of course, they make us look good, but they don't define who we are. And we can't take none of it to heaven with us. So, I mean, enjoy life, and God blesses us all in different ways to enjoy those things, but not to enjoy them so much that we put them before God. And so I just pray that everyone experiences God's love, I mean authentically, and to be okay with who he shows you who you are. And if you don't know who you are, then you have to seek him and ask him to show you. Believe me, you ask him, he gonna show you when you least expect it. But just be open to receive it and to embrace it, no matter what other people may think, no matter what other people may say. It don't matter. Just do what God has called you to do and be happy with who he's made you to be and who he's pushing you to become. And so he has greatness for us all, and there are things that we all were called to do. Everybody has a calling, everybody has a purpose, but will you leave this earth without fulfilling it? I don't want to do that. And I know there's a whole bunch of graves of people that have died and never fulfilled their purpose. And so while we have a chance, every day that we wake up, it's another chance to ask God, like, what will you have me to do today? Who would you have me to bless today? And just go for it. It ain't gonna be perfect, and God never expects us to be perfect. And that's the thing about that. He doesn't expect us to be perfect, but what he does expect, he expects us to be honest and to be true and to live according to his word. So if you don't know his word, dig deep, get in his word, get an understanding of his word, and apply that word to your life. Even if you got to get a kid's book, go read a kid's book, because sometimes them children's Bibles make things so more simplistic than any of the other Bibles that you can actually read. So do what you got to do to get an understanding so that you can walk the wheel or walk the walk and talk what you're walking and living, so that it can be an example. Did I just mess that up? Anyway, I meant just walk the walk. Everything you talking about, be about it. Okay? So anyway, I will see y'all again once I cross over into my next chapter, which will be number 45 in 4 days. And so I'm just excited about what God has planned, and what he's going to do for me, and what he's going to do for you, and how he's going to use me to get others to turn their lives over to him, so that they can be a help to someone else that they come in contact with. So I do believe that everything that I touch from this moment will be blessed. Everyone connected to me will be blessed. And so we all, at the end of the day, want to connect with each other so we all can be blessed and be a blessing to others that don't know who God is. So anyway, enjoy the rest of your week, because the weekend will be here tomorrow. And when the weekend is over with on Monday, May 18th, I will be 45. So thank the Lord for these 44 years that He's allowed me to experience Him in ways that I never thought would even be possible, because I've been so undeserving. But I thank Him for His unmerited favor and His grace and mercy. So have a good weekend, and I will talk to you on the other side.